I want to set the world on fire with a love that's impossible to deny. Ignite the passion, let it spread high. A flame that lights up the darkest sky.
Ladies and gentlemen, the pleb is back. In tonight's report, Bill Maher absolutely unloads on Justin Trudeau and blames Trudeau's wokeness on the destruction of Canada. As well, tonight, leftists are finally waking up, seeing that woke policies are absolutely destroying their party. As well, Pierre Poilievre says Canadians are so broke that they're now making Facebook groups for dumpster diving. You won't want to miss tonight's story. Stick around. Tonight's episode has been brought to you by Beaver Bitcoin. One of the reasons I love Bitcoin so much is because it's absolute freedom money, and Trudeau can't freeze your Bitcoin. All you need is a hardware wallet like this. You put your Bitcoin on here, and Trudeau cannot freeze your Bitcoin bank account. If you guys want Bitcoin in Canada, head over to beaverbitcoin.com/pleb and sign up for an account today. Oh yeah, huge thank you to all of you that are staying vigilant and double checking that you're still subscribed. I'm still receiving a ton of messages under every single video of people telling me, Pleb, I got unsubscribed for your channel against my own will. Yeah, it's actually happening. So thank you to those who are double checking. And if you're not subscribed to my channel already, smash that button because I'm going to tell you the news that the mainstream media won't. Welcome to your Monday report. We got a lot to cover here today, but tonight's first story is going to be about the left eating the left. And a clip went viral over the weekend of Bill Maher basically calling out Canada for being too woke, and the left had an absolute meltdown over this clip. Let's watch.
There's only one problem with thinking everything's better in Canada. It's not. Not anymore, anyway.
True.
Last year, Canada added 1.3 million people, which is a lot in 1 year, the equivalent of the U.S. adding 11 million migrants in 1 year. And now they're experiencing a housing crisis even worse than ours. And we're sleeping in tents.
In all fairness, Bill, I mean, Canadians are sleeping in tents, and now we're seeing a rise of tent cities in Canada where we have never seen them before. So, Bill, let's be real here. We're both living in tents.
The median price of a home here is $346,000. In Canada, converted to U.S. dollars, it's $487,000.
Wow.
If Barbie moved to Winnipeg, she wouldn't be able to afford her dream house, and Ken would be working at Tim Hortons.
That's pretty good. It's crazy that houses in Canada are almost 50% more than the average home in the United States. The Americans talk about Biden-flation, but man, Trudeau-flation or just inflation seems to be much worse than what they have down in the States. It's a crazy statistic.
And because of mortgage debt, Canada has the highest debt-to-GDP ratio of any G7 nation.
Wow.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds bad.
It means we're broke. We're broke and we're in debt, thanks to Trudeau's policies.
So does their vaunted health care system, which ranks dead last among high-income countries in access to primary health care and ability to see a doctor in a day or two. And it's not for lack of spending. Of the 30 countries with universal coverage, Canada spends over 13% of its economy on it, which is a lot of money for free health care. Look, I'm not saying...
It's not free health care, and I'm going to be honest with you. As a Canadian, my biggest fear is getting seriously sick and having to go to the hospital. I mean, in Canada... we're having cancer screenings here that are like months late. We're hearing stories of people dying in the waiting room, waiting to see a doctor. So this Free healthcare that the whole world has known Canada for is an absolute disaster. It's not working. I personally would rather pay for my own healthcare or have a choice of healthcare providers, because leaving it up to our government is clearly not working. And we're paying 13% of our entire economy on this system that is completely broken.
And Canada still isn't a great country. It is, but those aren't paradise numbers.
No.
If Canada was an apartment, the lead feature might be America adjacent. And if America was a rental car, Canada would be America or similar. And again, honestly, Canada, I'm not saying any of this because I enjoy it. I don't, because I've always enjoyed you. But I need to cite you as a cautionary tale to help my country. And the moral of that tale is, yes, you can move too far left.
Yeah.
And when you do, you wind up pushing the people in the middle to the right. At its worst, Canada is what American voters think happens when there's no one putting a check on extreme wokeness.
Bill Maher's 100% right about Canada in all his statements. When you go too far to the left, the center moves to the right. And this is why we are seeing the pendulum swinging in Canada right now. This is why we're seeing the rise of populism all over the world. And it's all thanks to the progressive left. When a liberal leftist like Bill Maher comes out and warns that Canada's getting too woke and it's leading to its destruction, this should be a wake-up call to the left. But Justin Trudeau's most dedicated supporters, the most brainwashed Truanons, did not like what Bill Maher had to say, and this was their reaction. From Larry Dallas here, in Canada, the wealthy have to pay people to lie about Justin Trudeau and tell people it will hurt them if they vote against self-interest. This is literally true. Bill Maher went from edgy comedian to cringe ultra far right propaganda. Nice. So now Bill Maher is far right, and these people just keep spewing conspiracies. I thought the conservatives were the conspiracy people. Or how about this one here from Grandpa Ken saying, when you look in Webster's dictionary under the word privileged, elitist, white a-hole, this is what appears. Why are these people so obsessed with race? And isn't it funny that the second that Bill Maher says something that's maybe not nice to the left, they completely turn on him? This is literally a cult. Now, the few remaining Justin Trudeau diehard supporters are absolutely brainwashed. We have a name for them online. We call them the Truanons. But something absolutely shocked me this weekend when Charles Adler, a hardcore liberal, a hardcore leftist, came out in an interview and said enough is enough with this woke crap. It's literally destroying the Liberal Party. Watch.
I think a lot of people have gotten really tired of it. I know I get tired of it. I know when people say to me, Chuck, on your Twitter, why don't you mention that you're a he, him? Stop.
He's right. He's absolutely right.
It's nonsense. It's foolishness. I don't have to be Jordan Peterson to be irritated and annoyed by that. And yes, so many liberals do become liberals, NDPers, whatever you want to call them. So many people on the left become really annoying.
We've been saying this forever. So many people on the left become really annoying. Already knew that.
When they don't just present their perspective, but they tell you that if you don't agree with their perspective, then you're a racist or a homophobe or a misogynist or whatever. That's an intellectually porous way of arguing.
It's literally a cult, Charles. It's a cult. If you don't agree with them, you're out.
It's juvenile.
No
Brian,
shit.
There are right-of-center people who are winning big in places like the Netherlands, for crying out loud. Mm-hmm. Right-of-center people for the first time are starting to win in the Norways and the Swedens. So this is a worldwide phenomenon, no different than worldwide inflation. And the average person who is, I still believe, a person in the middle, the kind of person you and I are talking about, the average person doesn't want to be told what to think.
True.
And doesn't want to be told how to think. And doesn't want to be told that if they're not thinking along the same lines and spouting along the same lines, that there's something wrong with them. That feels like authoritarianism. Now, the irony here is that people are responding to left of center authoritarianism by voting for right of center authoritarianism. That's not going to make any of us happy, but I would be very unhappy if I didn't level with you and simply look you in the eye and honestly tell you that the left has pissed off a lot of people.
Yes, they have. Now, I can't believe I'm agreeing with Charles Adler on something, because usually his takes are amongst the worst, but he's absolutely right here. I mean, the liberals have pissed off a lot of people, especially in the middle. Also, they are authoritarians. It's the only reason the Freedom Convoy happened, because the government wouldn't get out of our lives. Stop micromanaging everything. Stop telling us how to think. Enough is enough. Just let us have some bloody freedom. In our next story of the night, Pierre Poilievre had a press conference today and came out and said that we are seeing a rise in dumpster diving Facebook groups in our country. Yes, things are so bad under Justin Trudeau that Canadians are now making Facebook groups to give each other advice on how to eat out of dumpsters. Watch.
After 8 years of Trudeau, there is now a Facebook group called the Dumpster Diving Network, where people share tips, 8,000 people share tips on how they can eat out of a garbage can. In fact,
It's so sad.
it's true that you can't afford to live after 8 years of Trudeau and the NDP, but you know what? You can't afford to die either. In Newfoundland, there are 28 dead bodies in freezers outside of a hospital next to a dumpster, because their families cannot afford a burial or cremation.
Welcome to Trudeau's Canada, where Canadians are so broke that they are now eating out of dumpsters. Absolutely insane. And I'm going to take this moment here to fact check Pierre Poilievre, because in that clip, he says there is a Facebook group dedicated to dumpster diving. It's actually so much worse. Look at this here. First group, Dumpster Diving in Canada, 1,200 members. Dumpster Diving Beginners, USA or Canada only, 1,500 members. How about the next Canadian group? The Dumpster Diving Network of Toronto, 10,000 members. Dumpster Diving in Canada, 13,000 members. Dumpster Diving in British Columbia, 45 members. Dumpster Diving Ontario, 3,300 members. Dumpster Diving in the Maritimes, 123 members. Dumpster Diving in Ottawa, 113 members. Dumpster Diving Toronto, 43 members. Keep scrolling down. Winnipeg Dumpster Diving Society has a fancy name, 7,400 members. YEG Dumpster Diving, which is, I believe, Edmonton, 35 members. Dumpster Diving Saskatoon, 4,200 members. What is going on? Dumpster Diving Network of Sarnia, 327 members. This is horrible. Another dumpster diving group in Toronto with 115 members. This is truly heartbreaking, man. It's bad.
Sunny ways, my friends, sunny ways.
Yeah, sunny ways, where Canadians are now eating out of dumpsters in record numbers. Canadians are using food banks in record numbers. We now have record numbers of crimes in this country. We now have inflation through the roof. We now have a young generation that will never own a home in Canada. Sunny ways, Justin. Sunny ways. All right, guys, that's going to be a wrap here for today's video, but I got to ask you this question here. Was Bill Maher right on his assessment of Canada? Is there anything you guys disagree with what he said? Do you guys agree with Bill? Tell me in the comments down below. Also, I want to hear what you guys have to say about this dumpster diving situation in Canada. Do you know anybody that's had to eat out of a dumpster because of Trudeau's policies? I want to hear it in the comments down below. All right, guys, if you enjoyed today's video and you want to support the channel, smash the like button, share the video, tell your friends about the Pleb, buy a membership, or you could buy a Make Canada Great Again hat available right underneath this video. My name is the Pleb. This was your Monday report, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.